Hello folks, Red Rider 06 here, and today we will be discussing the evolution of safeties on Daisy guns. Today we will discuss the old, the new, and somewhere in between. Okay, stop for a second. What is that kid's face? Like seriously, what is that kid's face? Somebody needs to take the Model 26 away from this kid. He clearly likes it too much. And the dad's face is even more horrendous. I can't tell if he's perfectly fine with his son looking like this, or if he's trying to smell his wife's hair. Oh, George, I'm so proud of you for buying our son a BB gun. You're such a good dad. I've already talked about safeties on this YouTube channel, and if you're interested in learning a little bit, I would advise you go watch the Red Rider video that I made a little bit ago. But anyways, the first Daisy airgun believed to have had a safety was the Model 140 Defender. This rifle was released in December of 1941 and then discontinued the next month and was specifically made after the bombing of Pearl Harbor. It made a lot of sense back in 1941. However, this is like if 9/11 happened and Daisy produced a "we will get them eventually" limited edition gun. To basically explain this rifle's mechanism, I will show a video of Restomod Daisy showing how it works.
And unless this is down in this position, the trigger will not engage. So when you do that, trigger don't work, snap that down, trigger works.
Even around in 1941, safeties were considered rare. As a matter of fact, this was the only rifle in Daisy's entire lineup that was actually equipped with a safety. What especially doesn't help is that this rifle was the most expensive rifle for its time, being equivalent to about $103 in today's money, which is telling me that only rich people can afford to be safe, while poor people are allowed to hit each other in the teeth with beads. But I think I'm getting a bit off topic. So anyways, it wasn't until the 1960s when Daisy started to try to actually implement safeties into their guns, and I don't even want to discuss this kid's face. To give a few good examples from my collection, I have an original sealed Model 26 Fieldmaster shotgun. And I swear, these things were so cool. They even had the original production date of when it was made on it. It even has the shipping information from the original Sears and Roebuck store it was purchased from, which I also find very cool because I've actually visited this place once before, considering it's only 45 minutes away from my house. And even though that my Model 26 doesn't work properly, the switch safety, which will eventually become very common on rifles nowadays, still works. Another rifle I have is my Buffalo Bill Scout, which is a spin-off of the 1894 series of guns. This one specifically has a safety where you would have to pull the hammer back in order to fire the gun, like a regular rifle. It wasn't until the 1970s when Daisy would actually try making safeties for all of their guns, which they would be a switch safety located on the side of the gun. But they sucked, so they didn't keep it. So Daisy tried again in the late 1970s, and they figured it out. They figured out the switch safety mechanism, and everything was going to be fine. What could possibly go wrong? Well, that didn't last too long now, did it? Turns out Daisy's little foolproof rifle they just released had safety issues. Specifically, the safety mechanism did not work properly. Somewhere between 10 and 20,000 rifles were recalled due to the fact the safeties didn't work properly. Owners also had the option to send their rifles in that were defective and get their safety replaced, now given the name the AB. Original pre-recall rifles are impossible to find, possibly considered to be the rarest Red Rider variant in existence. Daisy decided to accept their stupidity and released the 1938B, which fixed all of their safety issues. Nowadays, any Daisy BB gun that they ever produce has to have a safety, and this includes pistols. Alright, now that we're done with the video, let's get into the stuff that I've got. So, I have two guns with the type of safeties that were from the 1970s. I don't have any of the other ones. Of course, I do have 1938B and 105B, but we've already seen all that. It's pretty lame. Let's look at the stuff that you have not seen before, most likely. So, back in the 1970s, Daisy had many options, of course, for safeties. I mean, they didn't actually have many options, but still, this is one of them, one of the guns that had an option. This is the Daisy 104. This was nicknamed the Golden Eagle, but there were a lot of golden-styled guns that were based off of the original Golden Eagle back in the 1970s. What the heck is going on with my hair? I think that's good. Anyways, this gun in specifics is interesting because this thing actually had a scope that would go on top of it. It had a black scope. I couldn't find one in time for this video. However, I can still show you all the cool factors about this gun. So, like I said, 1970s, Daisy tried to start implementing safeties, and this was one of the first few guns that they did it on. They mostly did youth rifles for some reason, so allow me to show that in use. So right there, you can see right here that it says fire, but whenever I cock the gun, it moves it automatically to safety, which I find kind of cool. And then you'd have to flip it forwards in order to fire the gun. So that's one of the guns we're going to be playing with today. Another one we're going to be playing with was a 105, which is a really obscure version of the 105B, considering this one is basically just a 105. I mean, not even a 105, 102 rifle, my bad. It's a very obscure 102 rifle, but it comes with a safety spot. Now, this is, of course, if you've watched my YouTube shorts before, this is the infamous 1105 Coke gun, as I call it. I found it at an antique store somewhere out in Girard, Ohio is where I found it. I can show you exactly. I'll put a photo of which one exactly. But anyways, this gun is clearly modified. It's very clearly modified. You can feel the coarseness of the paint. I'll throw a photo up there because if you look at this model number, you can't see any of it. You can see like a small layout of it. And not to mention, they cut the safety out. You can see right here, because usually there's supposed to be a safety switch, like on this one, but they took the safety switch out. Of course, they painted the stock red, which is kind of cool looking, actually. I'm surprised Daisy didn't do this before. Put Coca-Cola tags all over it. And most interesting part, they took the shot tube out, and they made a pop gun. So, and also, best part about this gun, considering it doesn't have a switch safety, you can just automatically fire it like a 102. So, I brought a 102 shot tube out here just so we could fire this one today. Now, if you'll excuse me, come on. There we go. Now, if you'll excuse me, I'm going to go load these up so we can test them out. As you can see, downrange, we have the usual stuff. We have the styrofoam box, which we usually shoot at. We have the metal targets to shoot at, the infamous metal targets, if you've watched my videos before. And then we have bottles of water, because, you know, everyone likes to see them explode and all that. It's been a staple since the beginning of this channel. And as you can tell, the camera angle is a lot higher. That's because we bought ourselves a new tripod. I bought a tripod for this. And I know that might not seem like a lot, because I paid the low magical price of $6. I paid $6 for this, and it might not seem like a lot, but the camera department doesn't get a whole lot of money, so this is a very big win for them, so. Anyways, we're gonna put safety glasses on for this. And we're gonna start with, well, we're gonna honestly start with the one that actually, ready, I forgot to load the beads. All right, but yeah, we're going to start with the 104 Golden Eagle. Also, sorry to mention that there's background noise, specifically the clicking and clacking. That's because somebody down the street is redoing their roof. So, shout out to the people who are working out there on that roof, probably for a couple hours in 46-degree weather. So, anyways, of course, we already know how to cock this thing. We would just do it like that. It's already on safe, as you can tell. Won't cock and won't fire. I mean, it won't fire, not cock. It fires perfectly fine. 3. We're gonna go for the bottle to the left. 3, 2, 1. Okay, I missed that, but that's fine. 3, 2, 1. We got to switch the safety. Okay, we're gonna need to try a different approach. We hit it. I see it leaking a bit. It's leaking down there. I'll bring it down really quick. All right, folks, let's see what we got here. Do we have a bleeder? It's splurting a little bit. I'm trying to figure out where the entry point. Oh, yep, there it is. That's the entry point. That's not a very big entry point. I'm not seeing a bead in there or anything. So, very, very wet. I'm gonna just. I'm gonna just pan to the next thing. All right, we're back at it again now. We should be good. Let's see. 3, 2, 1. I missed completely on that one. 3, 2, 1. Sorry, my bad. I keep forgetting. That's probably the reason why they cut the safety out of the other one, because it keeps flipping back. So you have to keep flipping it forward every time you want to fire. Anyways, 3, 2, 1. Dude, that was the coolest thing. I don't know if it caught it on camera. I'm betting it probably did because it's caught other things on camera, but it just exploded, dude. I'm gonna hit it again. That one grazed it. It did make water come out a little bit, but not a whole lot. Hit it, direct hit, but didn't go anywhere through. So let me, gotta focus here. Yeah, I'm not making any more dents. Let's try hitting the metal targets. That is not metal target. I hit that one, but it didn't go down. Nope. Okay, I'm gonna be honest right here. I can't blame myself because I'm gonna show a photo of this because it's ridiculous. The sight is so ridiculously wonky on this thing. It is so wonky. Like it's straight and then it bends a little bit. And it's really annoying. Another good factor about this is one of the guns that actually has a slot so where you can see the bead, if I'm not positive. Yeah, this one has it, but the 1105 we're about to review doesn't. That's really interesting of how this is before the 1938B and all that. But it's got all this. Alright. Enough dilly-dallying. This is probably either the last round or is no more rounds. Okay, it's the last round. So, let's go swap over to the other gun. Alright, we got the gun all loaded up. You can hear pretty evidently. Got to be more careful with this one, considering this one, of course, doesn't have a safety, but most of the ones before the 40s didn't have safeties, so. 3, 2, by the way, reference, I'm going to shoot at the metal target. 3, 2, 1. There we go. See, the difference between this one is, I think it's because the trigger is messed up, because it allows you to gently squeeze it, because you have to put it back into place every single time you cock the gun. This thing's really accurate, which surprises me. All right, let's try that again. This is the one I like because the fact it's accurate. There we go. See, that is just great. That is what I expect. I like the golden one. It's just, you know, this one isn't as accurate as this piece. Come on. I know it can do it. I know it can. Nope. If it knocks down the one in the middle, I'm gonna cry. Oh, that is so good. I think we'll be able to knock them all down with this one run right here. No. There we go, dude. That is objective complete, even though we're not doing, oh geez. There's a lot of water on the ground. The mud is gonna kill me, most likely. Okay. I know it's not a Red Ryder video, specifically like Red Ryder variant video, but the fact we got them all is surprising. The fact that this was able to do it this well was good. All right. Might as well end off the rest of the rounds in here. I'm gonna shoot at a bottle of water up there because I want to see what damage it does. Okay, that just ricochets. The last thing I need it to do is hit me in the shin because I have my pants rolled up so I don't get any mud on them, because the mud is ridiculous. Like you gotta see it. Look at all this mud down here. I'm struggling here. I'm struggling. Let me just get that back in this position. All right. We're gonna do. I say we got like less than 5 left, so let's do a lightning round. Okay. This is gotta be the last one. Nope. Let's see. Is this the last round? Yeah, that's the last one. Well, I'm not gonna move over here. I'm gonna just tilt the camera over here so I can do my little review. So, what have we learned from these air guns? These specific first variant switch safety style. There's no physical disadvantage to them apart from the fact that every time you cock the gun, you have to reset it every time. Which they fixed that with the newer safeties, I have to say. So I like these guns. It's kind of annoying of how you would have to switch that over and over again, which is probably the reason of why Daisy decided to go for a better safety option. But yeah, sorry this video is coming out so late in the day. I could not think of any time specifically of when I could do a video that was this right, especially considering it's been raining every single day. So I did it. I did it. So without further ado, I will give my rating. I would rate these things realistically. I'm gonna give them a 7 out of 10. Like they're good guns. It's just the switch safety that kind of throws everything off. So I think that's it. This is Red Rider 06 signing out.